But you ended up walking away from an offer from ESPN
Yes,
when you left.
yes, they offered me something, I think around February, March of 2021. My deal was up in June of 2021, and honestly, I was gonna take it, and I was only gonna take it, if I'm being 1,000% honest with you, um, in spite of Dana White. That was I knew he wanted me to go, and I said to myself, "Well, you know what? I'm a petty person. I'll stick around just to piss them off." And actually, around that time, I started to talk to a therapist because I was feeling very conflicted because that's not a reason to stick around
Yeah.
anywhere. And it felt like week after week, like the clouds were opening up in my brain, and then I kind of came to this conclusion like, well, this is very silly and I want to go where I'm happy and I want to go back to the old me. And that's why I ended up going back to my old show, but also adding, I realized that I had the ability to essentially look at my career as a, as a puzzle, as a pie, and I could slice it up in many different ways and get the opportunity to work for many different people. And it's been incredible. And again, no animosity. I think ESPN has been the greatest thing to ever happen to the UFC, and I really loved the people that I worked with. It was not their fault. It just wasn't the best fit. Given my relationship or whatever you want to call it, and it's not one that I want to have. I just only know one way to cover the sport, and that's just honestly. And I would argue that 98% of the stuff I talk about for about 13 to 14 hours a week is very positive and promoting the UFC. But sometimes you do have to talk about the underbelly and the not so positive things. And I just view that as sports. And I think sometimes they view that as me being personal, and it's not personal for me.